single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Okay, Coach, thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. 10 Nova.
54 Mike. Exit, exit.
Hey, lock it.
Kill.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On first down, right back to Lindsay. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
Throwing his lock on third down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards there and a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Carr going to throw. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. To throw is Carr. Got a man. It's Brown. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Carr. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. Give him 30 yards there.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Monday, down. 185.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, wahoo!
53, Mike 53. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Check. 53's Mike. Check.
On 2nd and 7, Locke. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rock to throw on 2nd down. Gets it to Gordon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Hey, Sam off.
Kill. Watch the ship.
Smooth.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Check.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Carr. Pass incomplete. The former Michigan State Spartan, the rookie Justin Lane, there to bat it away. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Carr. Try to give it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, but it'll be 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And he'll be taken down shy of the 25 that he needed. He'll be a yard or two short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
You're mine.
51, Mike 51. Hey, watch the slant.
Shotgun now for Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Locke going to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's get it.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches.
Bang, 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 bang.
Stay driven.
They run with Howard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Set 30 base.
Number 53, Mike 53. Crunch time, defense.
Let's go.
Here's Locke. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Credit the sack to Corey Legion.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
25, check 25. Check 15.
They'll run here with Lindsey. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Lock now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Martavis Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. Takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now stands at 13. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
We're good. White Monday. Hey, 7:34.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll swing this one out to Richard. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
93.
Here's Carr to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Dylan Cole. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Hey, Delta.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Let's go.
After the turnover, here's Locke. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Block again here on 2nd and 10. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. The 20. There he goes left side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Broncos 34, Raiders 7. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. The throw complete here to Williams. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Showing it.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Quick the edge. Come.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 45-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Right there. So we got man. Watch twist.
Here's Jacobs. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Carr. He's got his man. It's Williams. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And it'll be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 21-yard line.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and inches at their 49-yard line.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Carr gives to Rashard, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
From midfield, here's Carr. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Carr. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Lindsey. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Now Locke. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Carr completes it. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
65. Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. I'm scared.
Carr going to throw. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
6:37.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah, Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the car. Watch the car. Watch the safety creep.
Now Howard. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Dancing and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Max Crosby able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And taken right on the 30. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Cost them.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
We're good.
Once again, it's Jacobs. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
To return is McKenzie. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 1st down, it's Lindsey. Well, now Lindsey lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Running with Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Locke to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby, his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Down. 180. 52's the mic. Wow. 29. 29. 52 by 52.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 93.
To throw again. Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Lindsey. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Foxtrot. You must be dreaming.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Now to the air. Lock. And his throw is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Lock now. 9 of 15 throwing the ball. 60%. And it's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
60 Pittsburgh. Leo. You ain't doing nothing today. Go.
Another run by Lindsey. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. On 3rd down, Abdullah. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running is Jacobs. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Monday, down. 180. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Mike 20.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr. Got a man. It's Brown. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
185.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
180. Check 52's the mic.
On first down, Carr. It's a screen to Richard. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the ground, Richard. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
You right, 50 to Mike. They can't hang with us. 6-18. 58 to Mike, 58.
On 3rd and 2. Carr, and that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Carr going to go on 4th down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos will take over on downs.
Here we go. 90, Wolf.
I got you.
Get it.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
On the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 8-yard line.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Denver, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
honey, I dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could